pay their mortgage. It could be from two incomes to one income. It could be sickness. It could be a number of things. The main thing, or the myth that I want to dispel about that, is that people just aren't paying, they're just walking away. Well, typically if you're in distress, it's just that. Something astronomical or detrimental has occurred in your life that has put you in this situation. And I've actually gone through additional training to be able to help coach distressed homeowners and share different options with them. Obviously, when they're in a distressed situation, they may feel very overwhelmed in the situation, and one of the things I do is help coach them through that. So I really, really, really feel honored to get to sit down and talk with people about options. Options of either not walking away from their home. It's not always about selling the home, but maybe coaching them or helping them through talking with their lender to see if they can get a loan modification. But again, just have the opportunity to sit down with them and connect with them on such an important level, and having their trust, that's very important to me as well. Being able to talk with them on something that is, again, one of the most important things that they will ever be attached to, which is their home. The other thing I'd like to dispel in this market is that no one is purchasing homes, and it's just absolutely not true. We in this area experience probably the bulk or really high numbers in foreclosure and short sales, homeowners being in distress. And while that was very devastating for the homeowner, we also know in this market, historically speaking, it has been very hard for many families to be able to afford to purchase a home in this area. So while we have the homeowners on one hand trying to save their homes, we have buyers on the other hand where they're practically giving money away for people to buy homes. I remember prior to getting in on the residential real estate side of selling real estate, I thought to myself, God, most of being a single parent, most single parents I knew, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to buy a home. I would have to say that probably a good bulk of my business comes from referrals who are single parents, that I've helped dispel that myth, and that is just so important to me. Obviously, whether you're single or married, you want to be able to provide a home for your family. And so I really enjoy being at the closing table when my clients are crying because they accomplished something that they never thought that they could accomplish, and that was buying a home, because there's never really been a more affordable time to purchase than now in our market. I love doing seminars. I actually have a seminar on Sunday, but one of the things I love about getting a chance to sit down with a group of people considering the dream of home ownership and really going over the process. A part of the education is holding their hand through the process, making sure they understand the process, making sure they understand what they're signing, making sure they understand really all of the ramifications of what buying a home means. And it is very different from just paying rent. So some of the different examples of a referral would be a first-time home buyer, someone that has never purchased a home. Now, for the first-time home buyer, that could mean that you've owned a home at some point in your life, but in the last 3 years, you have not owned a home within the last 3 years. You would actually be considered a first-time home buyer. There are many, 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 many programs that will, even if you've experienced a foreclosure and it's been past a certain amount of time and you've not owned in the last 3 years, you may qualify. So it's just really important to sit down and ask questions. A lot of the seminars and conversations that I have are really based on helping people overcome their fears from media. So, we have a lot of things that are being shared via media, and it's the motivation is fear. So I spend a lot of time helping people overcome their fear. So some of the examples of referrals would be someone that's a first-time home buyer, someone that simply just wants to be educated on the process. They're like, okay, I've heard about this thing, I think I want to, my piece of the pie, but tell me a little bit more about it. those currently renting a home or living with family or friends. At some point in their lives, you know, they were not able to purchase, but now they've got steady income, and now they're looking to maybe branch out on their own. Also, someone who's single with no tax breaks. There are a lot of people who are not aware of the savings, the tax savings that you have access to in buying a home. So we have, obviously, in this area with a lot of colleges in the area, there are just young professionals that are not aware of all the money that they're actually throwing away because they don't own a home. Anyone relocating to our area, whether that's the military or non-military, I love actually getting to work with relocation folks. They're a lot of fun. Especially veterans. I'm a little partial to veterans, I suppose, because of what they do for us, or what they have afforded us. A lot of times veterans don't even know that they can purchase a home with no money down. You'd be surprised that they don't know that, and this is a benefit that has been afforded to them because of the sacrifice that they've made for our country. Also, investors, maybe you're new to investing. Maybe you want to purchase and flip a home, which is basically buy low and selling high. Or maybe you currently own a home and you want to branch out and maybe purchase another home. Maybe your family has grown and the current home you have doesn't fit, and you may want to sell or rent that out to purchase another. We also, again, focus on sellers, those that are distressed, or those that are in the market. You'd be surprised of those that actually no longer have a mortgage and are on the market to actually sell. There are regular sales on the market. And then we also work with those that are looking for corporate leasing. People, a lot of times when they're relocating to the area, initially they may, the company or organization that they're working for may put them up for a short time until they find permanent housing. So we work with corporations as well. And then again, we also do commercial leasing. So say you're in a location and you're wanting to branch out and maybe have an additional location, or maybe you want new, fresh location. Jamie Opens Doors can assist you with that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to meet with you all every week. I really, really appreciate it. And you guys are so much fun. Somebody came and visited one time, and they said that one of the things they liked about our chapter was that we weren't stuffy. So I'm glad to know that I have a lot of business partners that are just plain fun, know how to have fun in business as well. Thank you.
Right now, we can take a few moments for any questions that you may have for Jamie at this time.
After seminars that you do, how close do you have to be to for purchase I don't know if it's a seminar or workshop. How close do you want a consumer to be before they take that?
Well, when you're passing referrals, you actually don't have to. My goal is that if you know of anyone that's just thinking about, they could just be thinking about it, dreaming about it. They wake up in the morning, they go to bed at night thinking about real estate and how they can break into the market. That would actually be a good referral for me. And the reason that is that connecting with me will help me have the opportunity to actually dispel any myths that they have. And at that time is when we actually take a snapshot of what is actually going on. So there's really no way for you to know. That's something that I would have to just really delve into based on a conversation and a snapshot that me and Tracy would do together to see how far along or how close they are to being ready to purchase. So,
You say you actually rent out homes as well and sell them? Okay. How does that work?
You said the rentals?
Yeah. So you just, I guess the buyer hires your company to rent out an existing property. So you do like a management?
Actually, right now we don't. You're talking about the sellers who want to rent their homes. We would actually just list it and put it on the market and help publicize and market the property. They would actually do the management themselves. Sometimes when you get into property management, it actually sort of eats into the homeowner's profitability. And so it's sort of a delicate balance in our market with that and having to pay someone for the property management. Now, we of course hold your hand through the process and really delve into detail on how you can do that yourself, but we actually don't do the property management as a way to try to save you that income.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
So you say you have a seminar this Sunday?
Yes, I do.
And it is where?
It's actually in Suitland, and it's actually already full. It's actually already full. Yeah, I didn't get. Well, what happened was I had done another seminar, and this one came about really quickly. It's actually Sunday from 3 to 4, so it's on an off time, like during football time, and most people would not want to come to a real estate seminar during that time. But what happened was we planned it at that time because I had done another one and it filled up very quickly, and so people were like, well, when is the next one? Can you do one right away? So it's sort of with the overflow from another one, it actually, that's why I feel.
You're obviously not doing them enough.
Right.
So your next one is?
I haven't actually, I actually spoke with Bernadette, and I'm looking for, because one of the things I found too is to do a seminar outside of my actual office. Sort of puts people at ease. So if I can have it in a library, or at, like this one's going to be at a clubhouse, or somewhere just sort of neutral. It's or church. We definitely go into churches to do. We actually at my church we have a single mothers ministry. So again, just targeting those. That's a group, a particular group that just don't. They're in their minds. They're like, I could never afford to buy a home. And so I always say as a realtor, have car, will travel. So we will come, even if it's a group as small as like maybe 3 couples or something like that. The goal again is just to try to get out as much information so that people are using the money, because if you don't use it, then we lose it. And it's like telling them that, okay, we really don't want your money and we really don't need it. So we'll travel, we'll come to wherever you want us to do a seminar.
So is it costly? Sorry.
Actually, thank you. The seminars are free. They're free, yes.
Okay, so then how do you work with, say, like a hairstylist that work for themselves, and so their credentialing is a little bit tricky?
Yeah, and we adjust. I mean, we sit down, that's one of the things we delve into and understand what programs may or may not work. It's really just sort of like when someone comes into your office, you put their hand, or you use a different diagnostic tools.
Right.
One of the things that I do with buyers when it's one-on-one, say if you refer someone to me that was looking to buy, I'm going to have an initial phone conversation with them. But then the next step is to have about an 1.5 to 2 hour meeting with them. And that's where all of that will come together, where it's a mini seminar, so to speak, because that's where I'm going over the process and I'm talking about the different programs that may be applicable to their situation. So it's sort of like a woman birthing a baby. Each birthing is probably going to be a little different based on each individual's scenario. So definitely I've worked with hairstylists before. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Oh.
Wonderful presentation. And due to timing, we do kind of need to move